Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of my trophy log series. This is the series where we keep track of our most prized possessions. In the last episode, we managed to catch a brown trout trophy on Lower Volkov River. In this episode, we are heading to a new water body, but before we do that, this is the fun spot segment of the video where I try your fishing spots. Today's fun spot is on Oldberg Lake. From this spot you can expect to catch bream, white bream and roach. The bite rate here is absolutely insane. We caught 100 fish in less than 1 hour. Unfortunately, there were no cafe orders, but we managed to sell all the fish on the fish market for 318 silver. Insanely good spot. Don't walk there, run. This is for all my YouTube members. Make sure to join. I don't know how you guys are not still running out of bait. This is so much, and we are just growing every single episode so much. Thank you. The wheel has landed on Volkov River. Not bad. Volkov will be quite difficult right now because of the lack of active spots, but this gives us an excuse to go and try out a lot of different spots and do a lot of different fishing. Something that I want to try out in this episode is fishing with the Baitfish rig. We've only done that once before, but I really want to focus on it in this episode. But first, let's go and try to catch some blue bream. And for that, we need to mix a dry mix for our spot rod. For the base, we have crown peas. For additives, we will use peas, casters, maggots, and bloodworms. We will mix it all up with the freshly cut grass attractant, and this is my setup if you want to use a similar one or follow the same setup. From this spot, we want to catch the blue bream trophy. As I said before, we're fishing for blue bream, and as we all know, blue bream are quite a rare species. So if we catch blue bream that's not even a trophy, we're already pretty lucky and we have found a good spot. But fingers crossed, let's get a blue bream trophy, because that will be a new unique trophy for me, and we want to collect as many uniques as possible. The first spot of this episode I'm fishing at is at 132, 118. I use clip size 18, hook size 14, and for the bait, bunch of algae. Over here at this spot, you want to cast towards northeast. As you can see, I'm aiming on this, not the darkest area on the map, but the medium dark area. This is where we want to fish at. That's exactly the depth and the clip that we will use to try to get a blue bream. But as I mentioned before, blue bream, very unlikely, but this spot could be also a potential trophy spot for some other species like the white eye bream or just the regular white bream. Okay, we have a fish on. Finally, it was a very slow evening, so let's see, do we actually have our first decent fish finally or not? And it seems like it's not a blue bream, but it is a regular white bream, which is also pretty good. 326 grams, not too bad. The trophy size is 800 grams, so quite far off, but it has potential. Let's also get a tasty snack, some algae, bloodworms, and mayfly larvae. Not bad. I'm gonna try to scoop as much as possible in this episode. Okay, something is nibbling on the middle rod. I wonder what it is. Hopefully a blue bream. Come on, give me my first blue bream. It is not a blue bream. It's another white bream, and this one a very tiny one, unfortunately. It is absolutely raining cats and dogs outside right now. As you can see, it is a stormy weather, so this is probably not the best weather for blue bream, but I am not 100% sure. Don't quote me on this, but I think I am right. And we have something pretty nice on. Okay, never mind. It's a tench. It's a tiny one. I'm quite surprised that we actually managed to pull a tench from this spot. Yeah, 400 grams. I mean, not the worst. And hey, we got another achievement done. That is good to see. Want to complete as many of them as possible. What is this? It really yoinked my rod. Would that be like a zebra or a mussel? Yeah, it is a regular mussel. Okay, so odd. I did not expect to catch these over here. It seems like we're catching everything except the blue bream so far. Let's see what is on this rod. I would assume another white bream. Yes, it is another white bream. Maybe it's actually a good white bream spot. We still need that trophy from Volkov, so I'm not saying no to that. Look at this fella. This is a blue bream, the species we're after. As you can see, 460 grams, and it still gave us so much EXP. This is a rare species, even though it doesn't have the marking of a rare species. Don't know why, but yeah. The trophy size for this fish is 750 grams. We got a leech. Look at this. We have another fish on the hook right now. Don't know what it is, but let's see. Oh, it's a tiny bream. A super tiny bream. That's not nice. By the way, guys, if you can hear a lot of echo, it's because I moved my computer to the office room, but it's almost empty, and this is why there's a lot of echo. I plan to fix it up this week so we can take some of this echo away. I know it might be a bit annoying, but just please handle it only for this episode, and then we'll be good to go. And when you look at that, we actually have a decent fish on, and that is a big white bream just by looking at it. 725 grams. As I mentioned before, the trophy size is 800 grams, so wow, we were so close. Almost finished the whole trophy log episode. Let's see if there's another white bream on this rod, and moment of truth, it's not. It's a Vimba. Okay, Vimba low on bunch of algae over here. It's a tiny one though, only 170 grams, but yeah, it's good. If this is a blue bream right now, it has to be a blue tag, the best in the world. And yeah, it's just a regular bream as I thought. 1 kilo though, not bad. After 1 kilo mark, they actually switch the texture, so you can make a difference right away if the fish is under or above 1 kilo. Probably not a tench on, or sorry, not tench, but on the bream on right now. And yeah, it's a white bream actually, not bad. So this spot money wise wasn't the best. We made 92 silver, which isn't the worst, but isn't the best. This blue bream kind of saved the whole trip for us. We gotta switch spots, and for that we need to mix a new dry mix. For the base we have ground peas. For additives we will use casters, chopped worms, biscuits and powdered milk, and we will mix it all up with some phenol attractant. The next spot of this episode I'm fishing at is at 71-100. I use clip size 25, hook size 14, and for the bait, bunch of algae once again. And over here, let's hope we will have a better bite rate and better success rate at catching blue bream, because I'm going to continue with my blue bream hunt. And right now, not looking good. A lot of regular bream, but at least the bite rate has been slightly better. I've been here for like 10 minutes, so hopefully the next fish will be an actual blue bream. Now let's get a tasty snack. So many snacks. Hey, don't forget to like the video. And what do we have on the hook right now? Seems actually fairly decent. I mean, I'm using my weakest setup right now without any attractant like PVAs, no nothing, just bunch of algae on the hook. And we actually have caught a blue bream. And on those two rods with actually PVA bags and everything, I've caught regular bream. So this goes to show, I guess, that you don't need always the best gear in the game to get the fish. If this is not a blue bream, then I have to take a sip of a fun drink. And I have to do that every single fish until I actually catch a blue bream. Yeah, it is not. I didn't want to drink the fun drink at all. Snacks. And this seems like another bream. Not a bad one. I would say it's probably the biggest bream of this episode. It's actually making my reel scream a bit, which is fun to see after a long time of catching fish that actually don't take absolutely any drag at all. So let's see. Yeah, 1.5 kilos. This is definitely the biggest bream we've caught today. Would you look at that? Another blue bream. This spot has been already so much better than the last one. Actually 200% better. But money wise, I don't even know what to say. 72 silver, but we got 3 blue bream. That's pretty good, but maybe it's time to switch it from the blue bream and hunt for something else. The fishing spot we are at right now is at 136.76. We'll use depth 35 and hook size 20 or smaller, and for the bait we have casters. You might be wondering, why did you come to this island to float fish over here? It's because I saw that actually this is a fairly decent spot for some dace, and we do need a dace trophy. So I'm gonna give this a shot for like 1 hour. We can level up our float fishing a bit hopefully, and we are also catching some live bait for the Baitfish rig, which we want to try out later on in this episode. And we have our first fish, and this is something actually very strong. Okay, it's a tench. What is my luck? I'm here for taste, I get a tench. And here's a roach, another mutt, not bad. And the fish we're after, a dace, but this is a super tiny one, only 47 grams. We need something that's way bigger, but hopefully while fishing here, as I mentioned before, we get some fish for the Baitfish rig, which would mean that we get some bleak every now and then. Bleak is actually the best fish to use over here, unless you want to use something bigger like rough or roach and go for catfish, which I do not want to do. Okay, we have another nibble. Let's see if this fish will take it, and yes, it took it, and then I managed to hook it. Not a bad one, 95 grams. Oh, by the way, the dace trophy size starts from 250 grams, so we were like far off the trophy size, but that doesn't matter. Every marker dace is worth a nice chunk of cash. 65.1% float fishing. We are now one step closer to unlocking the sandwich bait. I can't wait to have sandwich bait unlocked for float fishing. That will be so OP for fishing for any of these fish, but it will take me a long time to get there because we are only at 65% right now. Oh, a white bream. Unexpected catch, but we definitely take these. Not a bad dace by the look of it. Let's see how big it is. 121 grams, almost half the trophy size. As I said, not a bad specimen. We just need one that's twice as big. So, not a single bleak, almost just one, and we made 46 bucks. Don't go there unless you really want to try to hunt for the trophy days. Then give it a shot. Yeah, we're making another dry mix, and this time for Nase. You can see all the ingredients on the screen, so just follow along. So let's go on another island on this map and try to get ourselves a Nase trophy. This is something that we haven't really been hunting in any of these episodes, but I remember back in the day I really wanted to catch a big Nase on Winding Rivulet. Don't know why. why, but it just seems so cool. And this will be my setup. This is exactly what I will use. Let's go and get a ticket to rent the boat for one day and take the boat to this island that's closest to this dock. Something that I really enjoy is just driving the boat. I don't know why, but it's so calm and so nice. And I've kind of decided that for next year goal, I want to buy a boat in real life. I do a lot of real life fishing, as you guys also know from my real life fishing channel, but I think a boat would be a great addition for me to go pike fishing, zander fishing, go for pig perch and so on big rivers and lakes, which I can't do right now because I only have a kayak, and with the kayak it gets pretty dangerous, let me tell you that. For example, this weekend I got a few nice wavefuls of water into the kayak and it was only 4 degrees outside, but I caught so much pike, like actually like 25-30 pike. It was so much fun, so I'm gonna upload a video of that soon, hopefully. The spot I'm fishing at right now is at 131.97. I use clip size 10, hook size 8, and for the bait, caddisfly. So over here I'm trying to get some Nase, but I did some testing before and you can actually get some big roach from over here, so there is a chance that we actually might accidentally snag a common roach trophy, which is actually in the trophy log list for Volkov River. Let's hope that's not gonna happen because I'm saving that for later once we go super dry on some rarer species over here, so we can knock that out easily and continue with the series. We have our first fish on. Let's see what it is. It is most likely a bream or a roach or something like this, I think. The Nase should bite more often during the morning hours, so yeah, this is a roach and a big one as well. 627 grams. That is a specimen roach already. We have another fish on, something that's hugging the bottom, so this could be something other than a roach, hopefully, but it is not. It's another roach. By the way, the roach trophy size is 1.2 kilos. I mean, this setup is a true definition of a roach magnet because we probably have another roach. Yes, we do. It's just roach after roach after roach. So hopefully the Nase will come soon. Or a chub, I guess. Still fun. Something that will be happening over here is you will have some super hard takes and runs, and then you hook the fish and you see it is a chub. And over here you can actually get some pretty big chub on these small hooks. I wonder actually if you switch the hooks into something bigger and use a different bait, will you get a trophy chub over here? Seems pretty interesting to try out, but I'm not gonna do that for now. Let's focus on Nase fishing. Okay, big fish. Absolute a unit of a fish on this kind of a setup or a loadout right now. This setup can handle much more, but we have quite a light components on this rig right now, which makes it a lighter setup, and that is a very nice chub. 2.4 kilos. 4 kilos is a trophy size, so we were way over half the trophy size, but nothing close to the actual trophy. No way. 93.1% bottom fishing. Well, I kind of missed the recording of this trophy rough because my recorder just failed on me. But we made a pretty nice chunk of cash, 134 silver. That's not too bad. No Nase though. I tried some lure fishing and as you can see, it did not work out. We made 87 silver. Not the worst, but holy, the bite rate was bad. Yes, would you look at that? A Nase, 351 grams, not a bad one either. So I came back to the same spot I was fishing at before I went lure fishing for an hour. And yeah, Nase almost right away. 15 minutes in and we got a pretty decent Nase because the trophy size is 800 grams. So this was almost half the trophy size. Probably have another chub on right now. Let's see if it is. It's actually not. It's a roach. It was pulling so hard. I can see why. It's 835 grams. These roach are getting bigger and bigger. 900 grams. Yeah, we're not gonna get rich in this episode. 53 silver. Nase. We will not give up. Another Nase. Let's go. What is that fish? It's pulling so oddly. It's like kind of slow but strong. Oh, it's another roach. It's a big one. I swear at one point we'll accidentally hit the trophy roach. This is again almost 900 grams. Money time. We filled in the roach cafe order for 34 silver, chub order for 50 silver, and sold the rest of our keep net for 75 silver, which means in total we made 159 silver. Okay, now this fish has been actually really pulling, and I don't know what it is. I think it's a chub, but I don't know how big, or maybe it's an eyed. We actually had an eyed before as well, so it could be a big eyed, but no clue as I said. I think it's a chub. I saw its fins for a second, so I think it's a chub, but I can't 100% confirm yet, but we will see in a second. Yeah, it's a chub. We can see it now clearly. 3.9 kilos? No, less than 100 grams away from the trophy size. That is unbelievable. Over here on Cat is flying like size 8 hook. How is it even possible? Oh yeah, 93.2%. We're slowly getting to 95%. What? It's almost back to back. This is insane. With the roach. So let's see how much money did we make on this trip. We made 123 silver. Not bad, but not very good either. The next spot I'm fishing at is at 164, 108. I will use depth 35, hook size 20, and for the bait, a fly. So over here you can use the most shallow depth you can, so that will be 18. And you can use the smallest hooks, so up to like 24, but I decided to go for size 20 and fish at depth 35 to get some decent sized bleak that would be good for bait fish. Because if I catch them at too small size or too big, then I won't be able to use them as bait fish, and we are here for bait fish, so we can use that rig and maybe snag a predatory fish trophy on, so said, I would say like a bottom rig, because the bait fish rig is kind of a bottom rig, and this bleak is too tiny for the bait fish, unfortunately. As you can see, the bleak has to be between 40 to 70 grams. Anything else, we won't be able to use it. I'm pretty sure that's a bleak trophy, so yeah, we got a bleak trophy. Cool. I mean, bleak trophy size is 110 grams. We got one that's 130. That is quite a bit over the trophy size, but it's still quite far away from the blue tag, which would be 160 grams. And this is my setup if you want to use the same one. Okay, I did my bleak fishing. Now it's time to make some bait fish. Since we have this ability unlocked, we can just use the bait bucket and then the bleak that we have in our inventory. The game will automatically choose the correct ones, and we just click on make and repeat the same process until we have all of these converted into bait fish. And the rest of these I will sell for 59 silver, which isn't anything too fancy, but I mean, we converted almost all of the decent sized bleak into bait fish. This will be my setup. I will most likely have to switch out the weight to 90 grams, but we'll see once we make our first cast. The next spot of this episode is at 95, 110. We will use clip 35, hook size 30, and for the bait, bleak. So we will aim towards east or slightly southeast, as you can see on the map. Just aim towards the dark area on the map and you will be good to go. And I will switch to 90 gram weight because otherwise I can't hit the clip. Our first fish is on. Let's see what it is. There's so many different things we can actually catch. We can get zander, we can get pike, chub, asp, catfish, burbot. So it's kind of a gambling game over here, to be honest. But with bleak, you tend to get less catfish, as I've heard, because they're smaller species. But with rough and other species, you can get loads of catfish over here, and very, very big ones. And catfish, they are just way too strong for me to catch them on this kind of setup. So hopefully we don't get almost any of them. Okay, not a bad fish on by the looks of it. This is probably another river fish, because catfish, what they do is they will just hug the bottom and kind of slowly move. But over here, if you get any of the river fish like asp or chub, then they will just zoom around the spot. Or maybe even like a salmon. That would be cool to get. I don't know if you can get them over here on bleak, but possibly, I would say. Oddly enough, the size of fish so far hasn't been too great. I would assume that with the bait fish rig, you would actually get bigger fish, but that's not the case. Like, we've been catching fish at 1 to 2 kilos and nothing big, which is quite odd. Okay, this is a bit of a stronger fish. I think we can go 29 drag and just not max it out and we won't get snapped. Even though I think we could probably max it out with this fish because it's not that big, so we could just drag it out without a problem. I wonder what it is, if this is a chub or an asp. It kind of fought like an asp. By the way, I've caught so much asp and chub so far, and all of them have been quite tiny, so this is like one of the bigger ones. And this is 2.9 kilos, not bad. The trophy size for asp is 8 kilos. I can't even imagine how one of those fights. I really want to get one. Okay, something fairly decent on the hook. I think this is a catfish because it's really just hugging the bottom and not doing anything else. So I'll see you guys in a few minutes because this one doesn't seem to be too big. Come here, kitty. I think it's a kitty at least. Yes, it is. That is a catfish. It's a fairly decent one. Nothing too big, thankfully. I don't even know how big this could be weight-wise because I've caught so little catfish in this game. I've tried to avoid them as much as possible. But okay, 10 kilos. That's not the smallest one. I mean, 10 is a pretty reasonable size. What do we have on our hook? Is this like a ½ kilo pike or what is this? There's absolutely no resistance. It's actually a perch. So this perch, 200 gram perch, took my bleak, an expensive, hard to get bait. I don't like this. But who am I getting on the same time? I'm having so much fun. We're getting spooled like crazy right now. And good news, it doesn't seem to be a catfish. Who would have thought, right? Not me, I'll be honest. But I see you guys in a bit once we had the fish a bit closer to the shore. Who are you? Show yourself. If this is an asp, it actually could be a trophy asp. I would be so stoked. Is that an asp? No, it's not. That's a salmon. That's the Atlantic salmon. No way. We actually caught one of these on a bait fish. I had no clue you would get them over here. That is so cool. And it's almost 7 kilos. That is a great fish. but so far away from the trophy size. Okay, that's not a bad job. 2.7 kilos. Lovely. I think that is our new personal best asp. Let's see. Yes, it is. 3.5 kilos. We take these. They're worth so much money. And here we go. Our first burbot as well. Half a kilo, a tiny fella, but not a bad one. Time to make some money. 229 silver. Not bad, but considering that I had to actually go and catch the bait to catch these fish, you could pretty much half the profit. Since we still have some bleak left, I'm gonna finish off all of them and then we'll see what we're gonna try out next. But this seems like a pretty decent fish, so let's see what it is. It is a very, very nice asp. 4.4 kilos, this is definitely our new personal best. This fish has been fighting so strongly, just hugging the bottom. What is that? Oh, that's a zander. Okay, that's cool to see. I didn't expect to catch zander. I knew it was possible, but yeah, 2.9 kilos. That's a fairly big zander as well. We take those. Looks like another bottom hugger, so it's either a catfish or a zander, but this one, it's too light, so I would assume this is a zander and it actually has quite a bit of strength. They are such an unusual fish to catch. I've caught one decent sized zander in real life before and they tried to hug the bottom so hard, just like in the game. I put a rough on the hook and I think I made one of the biggest mistakes I've done in a very long time. I'm gonna get this fish out before I'm gonna reel in the middle rod because I have a feeling like we're gonna be struggling with that rod. So I'm just making sure that we don't lose too much tension on the middle rod. If we do, I'm gonna reel in for a bit and then switch back to the other rod so we can get this fish out, and also then the fish that's on the middle rod, which surprise surprise will be probably a massive catfish. First kitty in the inventory, 8 kilos. Without a joke, it's been almost 1 hour in real life time. This fish did not want to give up and it's been a horrifically fun fight, I would say, because it was just pulling drag all the time. I had to run around the island. You can see I'm so far away from the fishing spot just so I could actually go and make sure that I don't run out of line and I can hook this fish properly and net it. And yeah, as you can see, it paid off. We have the fish over here. It was so hard to actually drag it across the river because it, so said, died. So it was like dead weight. But yeah, we managed to do it. So hopefully it won't happen again. Let's see how big this fish is. Time to net it. 29 kilos. Okay. That is a big catfish for me. And this rod had a Ladoga salmon on it. Cool. And here we go. We are going to sell all of these fish. As you can see, that one catfish is worth quite a bit. So in total, we made 229 silver. Not too bad, but that one fight, it took way too long. We're gonna move over to a new spot. So this is the PVA mix that I use. You can see it on the screen. And this is overall the setup that I will be using. So we'll try to go for Nase once again. So the spot we'll be fishing at is at 96,129. We'll use clip size 25, hook size 8, and for the bait we have a bunch of algae once again. We came over here for the Nase trophy, but what you can expect to catch over here is quite a good sized white bream and white eye bream, so it could be potentially a white eye bream trophy spot. And the first white eye bream we catch is 510 grams, and guess what is the trophy size? Yes, 600 grams. So the first one that we catch is so close to the trophy size. We are so lucky. So hopefully this luck will continue and maybe we can actually snag a trophy version. But let's see what is on rod number 2. The bite rate over here seems to be actually pretty good, so I'm very surprised about that. Fun weight, 333 grams. Money wise, not so much fun, 39 silver. And here you go, a blue bream. This is a good sight to see. This means money. Now what is this? It's actually pulling fairly hard. Maybe a bigger bream? I have no clue. By the way, I'm fishing with caddisfly on one of these rods just to test out. Maybe we can get something nice on caddisfly. But that is a big roach. It's not a trophy, I'm pretty sure. Yes, not. It's 1.1 kilo exactly. That is cool to see. 455 grams. That is a big blue bream. 537 grams. That is the biggest one I've caught in a very long time. So close to the trophy size, but yet so far, because even 1 gram would be too far away to reach the trophy size glory. Another fairly decent fish on. Oh, it's a roach. Could that be a trophy? No, it doesn't look big enough. It's 1.16 kilos. No way, 40 grams off the trophy size. We've had so many close calls with the roach today. Money time. We filled in a white eye bream cafe order for 67 silver and sold the rest of our keep net for 265 silver, which means we made in total 332 silver, which is is very good, so go give that spot a go. Let's get some more baitfish. Well, this is not a baitfish for sure. This is something that would actually eat the baitfish. We actually caught a very good eyed 1.6 kilo. Not bad. This is my first time in this camp on Volkov River, and I came here because we need to make some coffee. I'm almost running out. We have like 30 portions left, so I bought 100 portions of coffee, and we're gonna craft them all into just drinkable coffee, which would be around 600 portions. We should actually hit the percentage now. Yes, we did. We actually unlocked the new thing. That is cool. Okay, we are back at the old spot where we were using the baitfish rig, and finally I've hooked into something nice. I've caught a few tiny fish, but this one actually hit on the fall, and that is a big asp. I think that's my biggest asp ever. Yeah, almost 5 kilos. That is such a big asp. Holy, that's cool. 93.4% on a pike that's exactly 2 kilos. It's money time once again. We filled in an eyed cafe order for 20 silver and sold the rest of our keep net for 314 silver, which means we made in total 334 silver. Time to make some ground bait. For the baits we have corn flour, and for additives we will use cream feed pellets 4, 8 and 10, and to top it all off we'll drizzle some biscuits to the mix, and then we'll mix it all up with some cream attractant. The next spot I'm fishing at is at 128.98. I'll use clip size 12, hook size 6, and for the bait we have Old Pal sweet cream pellets 8, Old Pal cream brulee 8, and for the dip just Old Pal cream. Over here we'll see if we can actually catch a white bream trophy, so let's see if we are finally lucky or not. This is my second fish, and it's actually pulling pretty hard, so it could be a regular bream, I think. No, it's not. It's actually a white bream. Is that a trophy? I think it is. Oh yeah, it is. 834 grams. We actually got our trophy. That is sick. Our second fish as well. That was so quick. Absolutely a banging spot. So make sure you come over here and get your easy white bream trophy. As we can see, another slot filled up. Super cool. And let's make a quick few bucks at the end. To be exact, 45 bucks. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Take care. Bye bye.